This summer, I wanted to experience the Tour de France live in action on one of the most famous mountain stages that comes around on the tour every now and then, the Mont Ventoux, also known as the Beast of Provence. At the same time, I wanted to meet up with Simon Weller, the head of marketing at Fritchie Bindings, and do a bike ride with him over the Grosse Scheidegg mountain pass in Switzerland. I figured this would be a cool combination as I could ride from Switzerland to Mont Ventoux and have a proper summer adventure. So I packed up my bike, flew to Zurich and jumped on a train to Interlaken. Here I assembled my bike and prepared myself for the days to come. So currently just rolling through the streets of Interlaken. I'll tell you one thing, if you ever want to feel poor, this is the place to be. Just Switzerland in general, and not necessarily just the fancy hotel or the fancy high-end retail stores, but it's more just like the prices. I'm shocked when I see the conversion to the Norwegian krona for everything I've bought so far. Just a few hours I've been here. It's mad. It's like my bank account is bleeding. So I'm gonna see if I can find some cheap food now, and then I gotta get to France as fast as possible. Beautiful morning here in Interlaken. Slept pretty good, even though it rained quite a lot. Then I was all in all pretty comfortable during the night. And I packed up all my stuff and compiled them in a pile inside the living room area here on the campsite. And I'm gonna meet Simon in around 25 minutes. And then we're gonna go for a super nice bike ride. While I'm waiting for Simon, let's talk about the bike for a second. After a crash when I broke my elbow, the forces on the bike were so strong that I bent my fork. And you know, the disc brake was fucked up, and some other issues as well, but the fork was the main issue because it's not easy to get hold of a new fork. So after some researching, I ended up buying a fork out of AliExpress, you know, in the end of June, I think, and it came in the mail yesterday, and now it's in the mid-July almost. Yeah, that meant I needed a new bike, basically. That's what I'm saying. So I went online on the Norwegian answer to Craigslist. I found this bike. It's a steel bike from 1967. It's a Monarch. It's a Swedish brand, and I bought it off a guy who just basically put a bit more modern group set on it. You know, Shimano XT, a new handlebar, bigger crankset, and I changed the cassette in the back to a 46 tooth, a 1246, so yeah, I can climb a little bit better. It doesn't weigh that much. I think it's, you know, I'm guessing around 13 Ks, maybe 14 Ks without anything on it. And yeah, it's pretty sick. I'm pretty stoked about it. I've been riding it for a couple of weeks now, and it works well. Also pretty psyched that I get to have gravel tires on them. There's also caliper brakes, obviously, which is different than disc brakes. Let's just put it that way. But they work, and that's the most important thing. So this is what I'm gonna tour with then on this trip from here in Interlaken to Mont Ventoux, and then further on to Nice, where I'm gonna fly home from. So yeah, should be interesting to see if I can climb up to Mont Ventoux on this bike. That would be pretty sick. I met up with Simon and we started rolling along the Brienzersee Lake before starting the climb up the Grosse Scheidegg, which turned out to be quite brutal. Closing in on the summit now, and then it's all the way back down to Grindelwald, so that's it for the climbing at least, but god damn it, absolutely next level. Grosse Scheidegg, huh? My god. That's the summit. Holy moly, huh? That was absolutely Absolutely insanity. Absolutely insanity. From Meiringen, where the climb started, to the top of Grosse Scheidegg, it was 17 kilometers and almost 1300 meters of elevation gain. It was a long and hard climb, but definitely worth it for the views. We took some photos at the summit and started descending back down to Grindelwald and Interlaken. Currently riding through the town of Grindelwald. Pretty insane and famous. Well, it's nicer, I gotta say though, but super touristy as you can imagine. Just had a coffee and a cake with Simon at the cafe, so that was super nice. It's nice to ride with him, nice to meet him for the first time properly. And he's going to Ireland tomorrow, and I'm on my way towards France, as mentioned earlier. So now I'm going back to campsite. I'm gonna buy some food at the grocery store, and then we'll see what I'll do. But I'm leaning towards the train. I really am. Came back to camping, had some food, and I just felt that my legs dead, and it got late, and I really don't want to stress this time. I want to kind of experience the landscape and not just push hard to make Tour de France. So I made a decision to take the train to Lausanne, 150 k's. It's kind of save me, and it's also gonna strip me for 81 Swiss francs with the bike, which in Norwegian krona is a lot of money for a train ride. But this is Switzerland, and I don't expect anything less. This park area worked just perfectly for wild camping. Came late, and it's pretty early right now, so that works out just fine before anybody else arrives. The bike is now packed up and I'm ready to go. I only have 414 kilometers to Bedouin, which is the foot of Mont Ventoux, one of the small towns that sits next to the mountain. The race is in 5 days, but I want to be there the day before. So I have 4 days, so I should do it. That means I can take it pretty chill. A long day with lots of ups and downs, but deep into France now, or maybe not deep into France, but in France at least. Been doing 90 so far, and I'm gonna do 10 more, and then I'm gonna say enough is enough for today. I'm gonna find a camp spot and just call it the night, put it that way, because I'm just tired in general. So I made it to camp here in this town called Seyssel. The camp is called Hot Rhône because it's next to the river Rhône, I guess. 104 k's on a bike, super tired, really exhausted. Heat really took its toll today. Went on some gravel roads, not too comfortable. The bike didn't feel too good. Something's a bit off. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm gonna take a look at the bike and try and figure it out. So I wanted to do more, but I was just too tired in the end there to continue. So just gotta be happy with doing 104 k's, I guess. But we go again tomorrow. another 100 k's, and in a couple of days time we'll be at the foot of Mont Ventoux. So as you can see, I basically taking the back brake apart or put the calipers aside. The wheel just didn't want to spin because it just kept touching the rim and making it stop. So not the best solution, but and I figured, you know what, I have a front brake, that should do it. I have no interest in trying to deal with the back brake at that point in time. 7 a.m. start today. I always try to start around 7, but today is extra important because it's supposed to rain later this morning, I think in a couple hours. So I'm going to try and get as much distance done as possible. And then when the rain comes, I can maybe stop for a coffee and maybe some breakfast and wait it out maybe an hour, depending on how hard it's going to hit. But it's a super duper beautiful morning on this gravel road along the river Rhone. Started the day off with some gravel riding, which was really nice, and now I'm currently on this pathway called Via Rona, which is like a pathway that goes all the way from Geneva to Marseille. I'm gonna find some pastry and a coffee really soon now, and then I'm gonna ride for 15 more along this river, and then I think it's gonna be more hilly terrain after that. The forecast said rain, so I'm not that surprised, but I thought it would come earlier, you know, around 10 o'clock. So when it didn't come 10 o'clock, just some drizzles here and there, I figured, okay, maybe I'm in the clear. And then I went into a grocery store, and at the time I came out again, it sort of was just piss pouring down like it's doing now. And I was a bit on and off, and I rode out from the grocery store, and I just started pissing down again. So I found this nice cafe, met a group of other cyclists who obviously had the same idea as me. So now I'm just gonna chill here until it clears a little bit. I've done 60 k's today, so I only gotta do 40 more just to be, in the clear, so I don't have to do much the next 2 days. Alright, this was a nice little town actually, but the weather's cleared up, so it's time to get going again. It's gonna rain in an hour, so we just gotta get some distance before it starts to pour down. But all in all good, so 40-50 more k's and we should be good. Ever since I left the cafe, it's been quite hilly. But I kind of like it though. I do like hilly terrain when you really have to work and you get a little bit up and down. Like when it happens stuff. But now I'm kind of more wondering what this route is. I mean, I planned the route myself. I basically just planned a gravel route on Komoot, so I'm not 100% sure what I got. But it is, it's a bit in and out of interesting places, to put it that way. And I don't know what's in front of me right now, but it looks like a single track of some sort. But we'll go through this house or past this house, and then down here in the hedge, and I will see after that. It's starting to get a bit tiring. I was like 300 meters in 3 or 4 k's or something. Absolutely horrible. Jesus Christ. Made it over the top, so now we can actually descend back down to the camp spot where I'm gonna stay tonight. Oh, that was a horrible way to end the day. Good morning from Roy Bon. 11 hours on the bike yesterday. 125 k's, long day. And when I came here, they said there was this restaurant at the end of the lake where I could get some food. And I said, okay, nice, I'll go there. And I came when it was closed. And I figured, well, there's a town a kilometer away. I'll just see if there's any grocery stores there. Went into Google Maps and checked. And there wasn't any grocery stores there. The closest grocery store was 10 kilometers away. And I had eaten in several hours. So I got a bit stressed. I didn't know what to do. But so I ended up riding 6.5 k's, 158 meters each way to a restaurant just down the road here. We're going past it later. Can't remember the name right now. But so 15 k's extra yesterday and just to get some dinner. Expensive dinner. I went to town. I really went to town. I had a lot of food. But we are 200 k's from Bedouin. It's a lot of downhill now. And today and tomorrow is probably be a lot more chill than yesterday. So looking forward to it. This is where I had dinner last night. I came to camp, no food. This was the closest restaurant, so I had to ride 4.5 k's up and then 2.5 k's down, and then opposite home again, or back to the camp. So heavy dinner. I wasn't too keen on cycling much more yesterday, but I needed food. But super cozy restaurant, super duper cozy. There's the region where I'm now, I've never been there before, is also really epic. After starting the day with some nice descending, it soon flattened out and I was battling strong headwinds along the river Rhône all day long till I finally reached the city of Montélimar. I found a simple campsite just above a local McDonald's and pitched my tent. Suddenly the sky ripped open and it started pouring down. I rushed back to my tent, but it was already too late. My tent had collapsed and everything inside was completely soaked. Luckily, I managed to find a small bed and breakfast in the city where I decided to spend the night. I went back the next morning to the campsite to pick up my stuff and started on the last stretch towards Bedouin and Mont Ventoux. Back on the bike, as you saw, it was a war zone almost at the tent site, so yeah, it was an expensive night, put it that way, but didn't leave me much choice. You can barely see it probably, but straight in front of me now is Mont Ventoux. Final climb up to Bedouin, where I'm gonna meet my good friend Eirik, and then tomorrow it's the Tour de France, baby, Mont Ventoux. I finally made it to Bedouin. I met up with Eirik, who had ridden from Nice a couple of days prior. He had booked a room in the village of Mont, around 7 kilometers from Bedouin, and offered me a bed there. I gladly accepted his offer and we rode down together and prepared ourselves for the highlight of the summer. I think you already know the outcome of the Tour de France. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe this video comes out and the outcome was something totally different than expected, but it's safe to say right now that Poggy is running away with it again this year. So tomorrow morning then, me and Eirik, we're gonna get up early, have some breakfast, and then we're gonna ride up to the top of Mont Ventoux. And according to Lance Armstrong, this is actually what he calls the hardest climb in France, which says a lot. So it's 21 kilometers to the top from Bedouin. It's 1600 height meters. It's 7.8% average gradient. So it's pretty steep and apparently a lot harder than Grosse Scheidegg. Well, not a lot harder, but probably harder. Excited? and now I'm just gonna chill here in this nice little, I don't know what you even call this, a small French hotel, small French bed and breakfast. Super nice, super cozy. It's got a pool right there. And I'm gonna jump in it right now, and then me and Eirik are just gonna chill out, and then we're gonna conquer the Mont Ventoux tomorrow morning. We got up early the next morning, had a nice breakfast, rolled towards Bedouin, visited a nice cafe, grabbed a coffee, a soda, and started the climb up to Mont Ventoux, where absolute chaos awaited us. So there are a lot of people here today, as you probably can imagine. They estimate around like 500,000 people, they said, in total, with all Tour de France stuff and spectators and media and everything, like in the Mont Ventoux area today. So it's gonna be pure chaos, but we're now officially going up the mountain. Amazing to see all these people here along the side of the road having a good time, and like being a pro rider coming here, like having all these people cheer for you, has to be an absolutely insane experience. Definitely feel the gradient a bit more now, currently on 13%, but so far so good. The gearing ratio on this bike isn't 1:1, but it works, but it's definitely not a climbing bike. Made it to Chalet Reynard. It's just getting crazier and crazier with more and more people. So getting a drink or some food here today is probably gonna be impossible, but I don't have any plans to do away. Just need a little break because it's been super hard. This climb is no joke. What makes it so hard is just a sustained steepness of 9-10%, sometimes 11, even 12, like all the time, and there are no corners, so like there's no switchbacks. So it's just like feels like a straight line, and it turns here and there, but you never get any relief like you do on Alpe d'Huez with the switchbacks. But short break here, and I got around 6 or 7 k's left to the summit. Eirik is way ahead of me, obviously. I haven't seen him. It's not going to be easy to find him in the crowd, but I'll do my best, and then we'll see. But let's just get to the summit first, and then deal with everything later. So 500 meters from the summit, and they have blocked the road, it seems like. So, well, I have a plan actually. I have a plan. I won't be able to pedal all the way to the top, but at least we'll get as close as possible. Maybe we'll get stopped further up, but I'll give it a good go. Yeah, I had to work for it, that's for sure. But we made it to the summit, no doubt about it. Easy as pie. Almost easy as pie. Welcome to the summit of Mont Ventoux. Bit of anticlimactic, but the climb was super nice. It's super hard, as they said it would be. Probably as hard as goes to Scheidegg. Definitely coming back, and now just gonna, you know, take it all in a little bit. Try to follow it a little bit on the big screen, then gonna descend a couple of kilometers, meet up with Eirik, and wait for the tour to arrive for 3 or 4 hours, I believe. But yeah, super nice so far, and let's see what the day brings. they're coming now. We can see them just down the road. Ben Healy, Henrik Maas and Valentijn Parempant. And then Pogacar, Vingegaard and Campenarts are, I don't know, last time we checked 3 minutes behind, so they could still take it. It's gonna be super exciting. It's gonna be cool to see how fast they're actually going. That's it, Tour de France, Mont Ventoux 2025. And now I'm descending back down to Bedouin. I'm gonna pick up my bags. I said goodbye to Eirik. He was going the other way, going up and over the summit and then down to the other side to continue to watch a couple other stages. Yeah, I don't have the time or the effort to put it that way to do that this time. 200k a day mission with almost no luggage, so yeah, that's why I'm gonna head to Nice. Either I'm gonna ride there or maybe I'll do a combination of riding and taking the train a little bit, because I'm pretty satisfied and I want to see my nephews and niece and my sister before they head to Norway again. I got back down to Montmoiron, packed up my bike and started riding towards Avignon. I found a nice spot for wild camping and decided to take the train to Marseille and then further towards Antibes. Made it down to the French Riviera! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! So I took the train and it was nice, and now I had a swim in the ocean, and that was also really nice. And now I'm going up to my mom's house and I'm gonna stay there for 2 nights and I'm flying back home to Norway. After an amazing week on a bike, riding from Switzerland to the top of Mont Ventoux, I finally made it to my final destination, where I met my sister's family and could enjoy a couple of days by the pool before flying back home to Norway.